Alright guys, Bidhead here. Very excited today. It's Sunday. I usually don't do a video on Sunday, but I was cruising around Craigslist and there was a lady in my town with something very interesting for sale. And something I'm very excited about. So I'll tell you that I paid $5 for it, and let's take a closer look. Alright, look at this gemstone. Here we have the Intellivision Intellivoice voice synthesis module. Now, these run about $5 to $15 on eBay, and since this lady was in my town and it was right here, on Craigslist for $5, I ran over there and I picked it up. Easy enough, right? So, what this does is this end plugs into your Intellivision just like a game would, and on the other end is where you plug in your game. Now, certain games would have, I guess, a code in them or something like that to activate a voice through this box. So in other words, if say I had a baseball game, I'd clip it in here and I guess it would read a code at a certain time in the game and it would translate into a voice coming out of this box. And that's your Intellivoice right here. And here's the volume control. And this is a beautiful piece of 1980s electronics. Look at that. Look at the font on that. Mattel Electronics. Isn't that awesome? So, my buddy Todd had one of these when he was a kid, and there's a little trick that you can do with one of these Intellivoices. I'll show you. I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. If you look closely in the back of the look at that sticker, by the way. This thing manufactured in Hong Kong. It's real well made. All the rubber bumpers are still there. You could take the damn thing apart. It's got some weight to it. But anyway, if you look closely, there's a hole right there in the bottom of the machine. Now, if you stick a paper clip in that hole, it'll play 4 samples, like voice samples. When you have it connected up and plugged in and whatnot. So we're gonna do that today. And what I do is turn it around here. You gotta forgive my camera work, guys. I'm working with one hand here, trying to do the best I can. What I do is I found a screw that's like the perfect size to just lightly thread into that hole, and what it does, it'll thread up in there, and it'll press that button, and then I can work with my hands, away from it and hit the switches and whatnot. So let's get her plugged in. I'm going to scoot it to the back of the end of the table here so I can get the screw in. Okay. Here's the plug. Okay. That's plugged in. And we'll get the screw and just see if I can find the hole here. There it is. Okay, that's in. Good. And all you have to do is you press this button in the back and you get 4 samples. So here's the first one. Here we go.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
This is early 80s, so things weren't too politically correct, were they? Okay, here's another one.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Okay, this is a pretty wild machine. I understand that. Here we go. Here's another one. The third one.
Call me baby killer and all kinds of vile crap.
And finally, there's one more.
When I get to town, we're gonna treat all you women, the way women ought to be treated.
It's a pretty wild machine. Not for everybody, but I'm so glad to have one, and I'm so excited now and looking forward to getting into television. So So that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.